How's it going, Maymumi? Nice to see you up late tonight. Up late tonight? Now, I know this is a pretty awkward time to have a live stream, but I don't know. I was really bored and I wasn't really sure what else to do at this hour. And I figured maybe I'd just take a chance and start my first ever live stream here on this channel. I know this is a pretty awkward time to have a live stream, but I don't know. I was really bored and wasn't really sure what else to do at this hour. I figured maybe I'd just take a chance and start my first ever live stream here on this channel. It's always nice to see your avatar in and around the YouTubes, May. Now, I just wish more people would, because it's to be honest, it's kind of lonely around here. It's kind of a ghost town at the moment. It's always nice to see your avatar in and around the YouTubes, May. Now, I just wish more people were here. To be honest, it's kind of lonely around here. It's kind of a ghost town at the moment. Of course, my pleasure. Now, hopefully more people come in. I think a lot of people are asleep right now. People don't really want to bother watching the stream. It's too late at night. It's a weekday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. People got work. People got summer school. People got things to do. Of course, my pleasure. Now, hopefully more people come in. I think a lot of people are asleep right now. People don't really want to bother watching the stream. It's too late at night. It's a weekday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. People got work. People got summer school. Oh, no way. I'm in Central Daylight Time as a... Pretty nice to be in Central Time. It's in the middle of everything. Not too late, not too early. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm just gonna do some. Oh, hey, Mr. Strange. Always nice to see your face around. Always a pleasure to have you around. No, I probably said that twice, but I stutter a lot. It's kind of my nature. So, do you two have any requests, Mr. May, Mr. X Strange? It's the middle of the night. I got time to waste. Could use a little more people around here. Like I said, it's almost midnight. 2 more hours until midnight, and it's a weekday. But I don't know. I was bored, and then figured, I don't know, why not try something new. Also could be another excuse just to have put something in the announcements channel, but I digress. But no, that's not really the reason. I felt like live streaming tonight, so. Mr. Jacob Ball Productions, how's it going? Sorry if if my voice is a little out of sync, because I am currently viewing the comments on my phone, and I cannot see the comments on my desktop, and I figure my live stream in the comment section may be out of sync, but I figure it shouldn't be too bad. So once I got more people going, I was actually planning, if there's enough people, I was actually planning to do a questions and answers section, and then eventually go off and do a little bit of gaming, even though that is true. There wasn't really nothing going on my Discord server. It was pretty dead, truth be told. So this stream is dedicated to owls out there. So you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to 2012 when this game was popular. We're gonna be playing some Happy Wheels. So if the game wants to load, right now it's not really doing anything. A site is experiencing database access issues. New levels are saved, but new results are not visible. Currently investigating and fixing as soon as possible. I wonder if it's my dark reader messing things. No, it's not that. It's not loading properly. There we go. Looks like it's loading there. Got the loading right there. So what should we play, guys? I'm on the menu of Happy Wheels, 6-year-old game. So let's see. There's the Combine. That's a classic one. Renaissance Ravager, Pokemon Training. Should we go for one of the preset maps, or should we go for something more abstract? Or should we go and search and browse for something new? What ye say? BMX, Mountain Swings. Let's see. Let's try Mountain Swings. Let's try that out. Haven't played this game in forever. This is actually the first time I'm playing it in like maybe a year or two. If it wants to load, hopefully this wants to load. Oh, there it goes. Oh, wait. Oh, I have. Sorry, I haven't played this in a long time. I didn't actually read the instructions. I'm kind of distracted by a couple different things. I believe I have to hold the space bar onto the conveyor belt, but for some reason it's not letting me do that. For some reason. There we go. All right, let's do this. There we go. Oh, this is pretty cool. I believe it's going to fire me into a cannon. I'm going to have to kind of scrunch my way into the cannon. There we go. Surely. There we go. Nice. My voice does get a little weak when I speak too much, but that's just because I'm not the best orator in the world. But I mean, what can you do? Oh, I like this. I like this map. It's pretty cool. Like I said, I haven't played this game in a long time, so it's pretty cool to play it again. Now I know the map's kind of doing everything for me, but I don't know. Maybe you guys find it a little entertaining. I'm not sure. Oh, I think I had to grab onto the thing more. Oh, there goes my head. Oh, that's the end of that one. Let's see. Let's do BMX Park, but let me just check a message real quick. Let's do May Mumi's first pick and go for the BMX Park. Oh, this brings back memories. Reminds me of me goofing off in the computer lab in middle school. All right. Oh, come on. There goes his head. Off with his head, like the Queen of Hearts would say from Alice in Wonderland, obviously. Now, Let's go for a third time. Maybe third time's a charm. Oh, there we go. I remember sometimes the bike broke. And the first victory of the night. Very nice, very nice. Nice to play this game again. Brings back some nice middle school, early high school memories. Just goofing off. It was the hit game of 2012 to like 2014. Then it just kind of ran off the face of the earth in popularity. And now it's all about that Fortnite and PUBG and whatever the hell's out there now. That's hip with the kiddos. So let's go ahead and recheck that re-upload of Maymumi's talking about. And if you don't know who Maymumi is, he's one of my loyal viewers. He arguably one of my biggest fans. He found me through my Manafoot channel and picked out my YouTube poops, and now he found his way to my editing channel. And for some reason, it's two U's, not two M's. There we go. Just for shits and giggles, let's go ahead and watch one of his videos, man. Attacked by a ghost, caught on videotape. So, which one did you want me to see? Because the last video I saw was this one of this gentleman dabbing. And I'm not really sure what that's about. You, Star and Terry's, attacked by a ghost, caught on videotape. But the real question is, did you use videotape to record the footage? Because as you know now, most things are recorded on SD cards and not videotape. So perhaps using an HD videotape camcorder? Alright, ghost caught on tape. Hopefully this isn't. Ain't that the truth? Oh. Poor guy. Oh, that's just great. Apparently it's a pig ghost. That was pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie. Dang, you know, May, I thought you made... I was thinking for the whole time that you made that video. I've never heard of Rich W4 before, but it's always nice to re-upload a video that's long gone. Something I wish I could do. There's a whole bunch of videos from the olden days of YouTube that I wish I could re-upload and bring back, but unfortunately sometimes I don't even remember their names. And other times I do know their names, but they're gone off the face of the internet. And that's just a darn shame. Especially due to like copyright strikes, or people get bored of the videos, that they start hating their videos down the line and they start hitting their older content or just hate everything about the channel, and then they close everything down and in neglect to the fans that enjoyed the video. Like, I can think of a couple YouTube poopers that closed their channels down, but they had a big fan following and many of their videos were loved, but something told them to delete all their content. So it's kind of unfortunate that that takes place. So you're welcome, May. It's my pleasure. My absolute pleasure. Let's see. 2 watching. Oh boy. Alright, let's play some cool math games. Now that's going back. Yeah. Pardon if this stream's boring. I mean, I've never streamed before. I'm not like the popular YouTubers out there. Like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, comment, subscribe. You know, all those sellout type people. So I wonder if they even have any of the old games on here anymore, because they changed the layout of this website, as I could see. I remember Cool Math Games. It had a darker color. It was like completely black. They had a different logo. And they had a completely different layout. And hopefully I can play some more classics on here. Like, I remember there was one like where you... Oh, what's up, Scourge? Long time no see. How's it going, man? Very nice to see Scourge here in the stream. Very nice indeed. Arguably one of the best editors. Is Papa on Cool Math Games? Let's see. LMP should be under here if you're talking about if Papa's Cool Math Games game. Oh yeah, the Bakerias. I forgot about those. Let's play the original. Hopefully Adobe Flash Player cooperates here. Oh, you're at work? Jeez, where are you working, Scourge? Working the night shift, working the graveyard shift? Are you taking out the trash and your coworkers are telling scary stories about fish with spatulas for hands? Well, at least that would be more exciting than just sitting on your ass the whole time and just waiting until 2 a.m. So, it doesn't seem like this game wants to load. So that's kind of unfortunate. I remember there was a surfer game. It's where you're in space and you hop on. You hop on different. Oh, I believe it's called Run. Actually, let's play Run 2, because that's the one I played a lot back in middle school. There we go. Looks like this game's gonna work. I haven't played this game in ages. This brings back memories, y'all. Runner, skater. I'm gonna be this. Actually, there we go. Oh. Ah, come on. As you can tell, I'm pretty rusty at this. Oh, come on, I was almost there. Oh, dang it. At this point, I'm not even trying anymore. Oh, I could have gotten on there from there. I didn't realize there was a way to get on there. Oh, damn it. As you can tell, you can see the reason why I don't play video games all too often. There we go. Oh. There we go. All right. I think I got to get on this platform on the left and go to right. Go to right again. Go. Oh, damn it. Why am I doing that? I told myself not to do that at the beginning. You could, like I said before, this is the reason why I don't do gaming all too often. Because I'm not the best at gaming. Oh, there we go. Sweet. Oh, damn it. Ah, oh, damn it, almost made it. This is really bad, y'all. This is like top tier shit right here. But it's gaming that gets the views, unfortunately, here on the YouTubes, so. Oh, there we go. Sweet. Oh, that was weird. Oh, damn it. Oh. There we go. Oh, it was that easy. What the heck? Oh, that was nice. Let's see. Here you just gotta have good timing. Oh. Oh, I didn't. All right. Let's see. Cool. So it's this thing again. Sweet. For some reason my key sticked there a little bit. Alright. It's kind of going full-fledged bad here. I'm not even sure what I'm doing anymore. Oh, there we go. Oh, damn it. I almost made it. Oh, damn it. Come on. Come on. Sweet. There we go. Oh, dang it. We're supposed to like a double jump button. Oh. What? What? I sounded like Terry Crews. Oh. Oh, how did I survive that for so long? Oh, damn it. Come on. Oh, you bastard. Come on. Oh, yes. That was sweet. Okay. You had to try really hard to fail there. Oh, okay. Let's do this, what, the 5th time now? The 6th time? I lost count a long time ago. Let's see. Damn it. Come on. That was bad. Let's see. All right. Let's fetch Fido. I'm going to end it right there and look up fetch Fido. Big Bucks, Rebel Trouble, Sprint Race, Yard Invaders, Snow Fight. Holy crap, it's got a huge catalog of video games. Holy crap. Does anybody remember Bloons Tower Force? That was a pretty good game. That was a good game. Bloons Tower Force, you had to buy up. You made money by popping balloons and you upgraded your equipment, and then it just... it's basically like Call of Duty Zombies, where through the rounds there's more and more balloons, and eventually they get so hard to beat that you just gotta have it like max out every single weapon. So, don't really know where to start here. I never actually played on this website before. But this is definitely like middle school, elementary school kind of stuff right here. Super Soldier. Any suggestions, you guys? There's a whole catalog to choose from. I'm not really sure. I wish there was like a randomizer button so I could just choose a random game. And there's, yeah. Any suggestions, anybody? Anybody still there watching at all? Nothing at all. Morrowind? I have not heard of Morrowind before. I have never heard of that game. Let's see. There was another one. I think it's called Pop Tropica. I forgot Isn't that, I forgot if that's an MMO or, I think yeah, it's a MMO, but I remember there was another website where it had other games that you could play back in middle school and elementary school. But I distinctly remember this game where you're a penguin and you're shooting snowballs out of a cannon or out of like a big gun at penguins trying to land on your iceberg. And there was also one where there was a stick figure and you had to like get through all these different stages, and there's like people throwing bottles at you and all that sort of stuff. Let's see. Stick figure game. That's a pretty broad search. But I remember there was this one where it's a short game. Let's try the penguin. Penguin snowball game. I haven't played that one in forever. Oh, it was called Fun Brain. Fun Brain was the website, and let's see if they've changed it. I think the reason why I remember Pop Tropico is because they used to advertise their game on this website a lot. I have not heard of Oblivion before. Not really an expert on games, so as you can tell, I mean, look at me. I'm going to a kids gaming website. This is the one I played all the way back in elementary school. I don't even think it's changed. It's taking a little while to load, interestingly enough. For some reason, this game is taking forever to load. And I'm not even sure why. I mean, it's a pretty, it doesn't take that much resources to load a game like this. It's literally just a 2D shooter. Not even a shooter. It's just, you're just shooting snowballs at little 2D penguins. Oh, here we go. I played this all the way back in elementary school. I distinctly remember playing this in the computer lab. Kind of a cruel way to... Kind of cruel to shoot at penguins, don't you think? Oh, damn it. Oh yeah, if they land too far off your iceberg, you don't have to worry, because they'll just land in the water. There's no real rhyme or reason to shoot at them if they're just going to land in the water. There's more coming in. Look how fast I can shoot. Battlefield and PUBG and Fortnite ain't got nothing on this. This is the bee's knees right here. That's so cruel, ain't it? You're just killing poor defenseless... Oh, bastard. I hate you, yet I love you at the same time. I actually did pretty good. Pretty good. I won! Look at that. You won. I wish it said you're a winner, because that'd make it like 50 times more epic. So, see. Fun brain stick figure. Because I'm pretty sure. Mighty Guy. That was the name of it. This was also one of my favorites back in elementary school. I did not play Mavis Beacon. I've never heard of that before. I do remember Kid Pix and typing games back in elementary school when we used to go in the computer labs full of IMAX. So it's kind of a mystery to me why it takes so long to load these simple Flash games. I mean, my internet is fine. I got 12 gigs of RAM on my laptop, and everything's updated on my Adobe Flash. Everything's updated to the latest firmware, I believe, and everything's updated. And I don't know why it's taking so long to load such a simple game. Kind of weird, but it's pretty cool how all these old games are still on this website. Oh, here we go. Let's do this. Help! Help! This looks like a job for Mighty Guy. Let's see. How do I control this again? Oh, I click it like that? I don't remember it being like that. Oh, they changed it. They just, I remember it being, I remember controlling it with your mouse. Oh, are you kidding me? I didn't even mean to jump. Oh. There's a Monty Python game. I mean, sure, I've heard of Monty Python and all the fine, funny pals from Britain, but I never knew there was a video game. Let's check it out. I spelled Python wrong. Python. I spelled Mighty instead of Monty. 1994. That was a long time ago. Let's see. I have not played Monty Python's game before. I never even knew they made one. Look, it's the Ministry of Silly Walks. Right there. See ya, Scourge. Nice having you here, man. So, interesting stuff here. Sorry I paused for so long. I was replying to a message on my phone. So, if there's any long pauses, that's the reason why. Or also, if there's any pauses, it's because I don't know what to do. So. So, that's pretty interesting. I never knew there was a Monty Python video game. So,
Anybody out there gotten any requests? Any requests for the awesome guy who's not having an awesome live stream? Well, I mean, there's awesome people in the live stream, but I wish I had more people. Maybe if I was like maybe if I had like 500,000 subscribers, I probably at least have 200 people in here or something. Because it's really weird, because like the live stream situation here on YouTube is that even with people with like millions of subscribers, they still only have a couple hundred people watching the live stream, and you would think there would be like 50,000 people watching the live stream, but unfortunately that's not the case. I have not heard of Zombie Grinder 60,000, or is it 6,000? Was that a typo? Because usually it's the thousands and not the 10,000s. Let's see. Sorry, replying to another message again. Zombie Grinder. Oh, it is 60,000. Usually it's 6,000. Or 0. Am I going crazy? That has 60,000. That one has 6,000. You know, truth be told, I wish I had Star Wars Battlefront installed on this game, because that's one of my favorite games of all time. The one released back in 2005. Well, specifically Battlefront 2. There were two Battlefronts. Battlefront 1 was released in 2004. Battlefront 2 was released in 2005. And I distinctly remember going to Best Buy, going to get Battlefront 2 when I was a little kid. And I played the heck out of that game. I was obsessed with Star Wars Battlefront 2. It was like the game, man. It was the bee's knees, and I loved that game to death. And I still have the game with me. It's in a bookshelf to my left, but I have not installed it, and I'm pretty sure I don't want to leave my stream installing a video game. Now that's no fun. Nobody wants to watch somebody install a game unless they need a tutorial on how to do so. But you don't start a live stream in order to do a tutorial unless you're having like a mass tutorial for like a ton of people, kind of like a yoga class or something. I don't know. But anywho, I'm not going to be installing any games tonight. But Star Wars Battlefront 2 was the bee's knees. It was the schnit, man. I love that game so much. I even played a bunch online too. I remember there was the heroes versus villains. Oh, dude, yes. Mos Eisley was freaking great. Now, you know, the reason why there was such a long pause was because I thought my live stream went down. I was checking to see if it's still in operation, and for some reason it's being weird on my phone. It's not loading the stream on my phone, but it does say it is live, so that's really weird. But yes, Mos Eisley was a great map. It was truly a great map. And I'm sorry, just thinking about the thumbnails here, but such good memories playing the game. I remember I used to have my friends come over and we'd take turns playing the game. We had some nice bonding experiences, strengthening friendships with that game. Though, I mean, I'm not going to credit Star Wars for, like, enhancing my childhood, like, to, like, godly levels, but, like, it was a pretty big, a lot of hours of my life were spent playing that game, and I'd be willing to put more hours into it if I had free time, but I have a lot of other interests as of the moment besides gaming, edits, YouTube poops, real life stuff, doing stuff for college. Just make sure my life is in check, and obviously I think the latter is more important than video editing, as it should be with people. So if anybody's watching this, the playback of the stream, if you made it this far, the reason why, if you're a regular viewer of my videos, that there's such a big gap in between the upload dates of all my videos, it's because school and real life gets in the way lots of the times, and I go and have different interests besides all of this. I have plenty more interests besides editing YouTube poops. I love photography, I love videography, I love the weather. I really love storms, and that's what I want to major in college. I want to be a atmospheric scientist and perhaps be a meteorologist and go out and do field research and do all that mumbo jumbo. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to be here. For some reason, my throat kind of hurts. Maybe it's because I've been talking for so long. That could be the reason why. I have like a cramp in my neck, in the front left portion of my neck. I don't know if it's because I had my head in a weird position or it's because I've been talking for so long. Because usually I don't talk for such a prolonged amount of time. I'm usually a very reserved, quiet person, and I don't usually talk for long periods of time. So maybe that's it. I'm not sure. But hold on, let me check a message real quick. I know there's not really many people watching the stream. So it would have been more fitting if I did a stream like this on Friday or Saturday. Review my Rudolph video, more like laugh my head off until I can't breathe anymore. I'm not really sure why I would review my own videos unless you're talking about old school stuff, because for anybody out there who's watching. Hey, Sticks and Stones, nice read. Your edits are very underrated. Well, I'm very glad you think so. I put a lot of effort into my edits. I make sure that the editing sound clips are put together in like a smooth fashion, so there's not like a weird pause in between them, or if there is a pause, it's intentional. I'm trying to make sure that there's not any weird gaps in the video. And sometimes I even go so far as for instance, my Lego Ninjago movie, I actually convert the video into 60 frames per second. And how I do that is through a program called, It's on my desktop, I think. It's called Hybrid. It's a program called Hybrid, and with that program, you can actually convert video into 60 FPS, and it will look really smooth compared to the original source. So, but I'm very glad you commented, Sticks. Very nice of you to leave that comment for me, man. There's nothing more I love. Nothing quite I love sometimes more than good feedback. For years now, I love making people laugh and just knowing they're having a good time watching my content. Though I imagine I've pissed off some soccer moms and people who aren't even allowed to say the word crap in their house, and they're caught watching one of my videos, and then they're banned from the internet for life. And I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, because my videos, like this one, has 17,000 views. The Angry Birds movie trailer has over 17,000 views. So I'm pretty sure a little kid has been caught watching this, and maybe their parents caught them. He said, "You know what, Billy? You're taking your phone privileges are taken away. You can't view any more of these disgusting edited videos. No more. Not in my house. Not in my household." But though I bet that's probably like out of all the little kids that may end up watching these videos, I'm pretty sure that only happens to about 30% of little kids who watch my videos, because usually little kids get away with watching this stuff without their parents catching them. I can guarantee you that. Just leaving them on their smartphone or tablet and just using their device as a way to babysit their child, and not actually nurturing and giving actual they're not actually giving any actual intimacy to their child. They're just letting an electronic device care for their children, when there really should be the parents there to actually, socialize with their kids and actually teach them life skills and teach them morals and just teach them everything they need to know about life in the early stages. And unfortunately, a lot of deadbeat parents are choosing to let their kids just at restaurants, at the mall, just let their kids just stare into tiny little idiot boxes, tiny little idiot screens, the tablets and the smartphones. Now, I mean, I'm one to say that all this stuff is bad for you, because, like, if I were to say that using your smartphone and your computer or your tablet all the time is a bad thing, then I'd be one of the most hypocritical people on the planet, because I am obsessed with technology. I'm on my smartphone all the time. I always check my email. I always go on Twitter, YouTube. Always, especially YouTube. I've been on YouTube since 2008, and I've been addicted since then. And there's no going back. Yeah, it's speaking of that, Sticks, that a lot of the it's always interesting to see the generations change through time, and how when I was the age of kids today, like 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, the whole internet culture was just so much more different when I was little, back in 2008, 2009, 2007, in those years, in early YouTube, and things seemed more innocent back then, but though that wasn't really the case, if you really think about it, because as a little kid, you're not really thinking of going to, at least in my case, I wasn't thinking about going to dirty sites or, like, really doing anything dumb or dirty or like anything that has to do with pornography or anything like that, anything weird or scandalous like that. But I mean, back in 2007, 2008, I was crazy about those Lego stop motions and all those pivot animations and the stuff animated with Adobe, with those stick figure battles and cartoons, and especially old cartoons. I was obsessed with vintage cartoons. I remember back before I used to go to school, I used to turn on Boomerang and I'd watch shows like Huckleberry Hound and The Wacky Races and Dick Dastardly and Muttley and their flying machines where they're trying to catch the pigeon. And also stuff like basically all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons and Tom and Jerry and Boomerang now is just so much more different, and they just air. It's basically like the Nicktoons net. It's basically the Nicktoons network of Cartoon Network. Do you guys remember that channel that Nickelodeon used to have? It used to be just like their channel where basically they just all the leftover shows that they used to air, they just put it onto that channel and they don't care. And now Boomerang is basically just a channel where they air reruns of Teen Titans Go and other popular shows. And to me, there's not enough vintage cartoons. Like, where's the classic Tom and Jerry cartoons? Like, I know I've seen Tom and Jerry in there, but they could air those vintage cartoons more. Where are all those Hanna-Barbera cartoons? Where's all the Huckleberry Hound? Where's all the Yogi Bear? Where's all the Wacky Races? All that stuff is just gone now from Boomerang, and it's unfortunate that Boomerang changed so much since I watched it as a little kid. But can any of you guys out there vouch for me with that sort of thing? Oh yeah, Popeye was also a great cartoon. Popeye, especially the earlier episodes, animated by the Fleischer Studios, like during the 30s when it was still in black and white. Those were very creatively made. In fact, a lot of vintage cartoons back in the 30s, 40s, even as early as the 1920s and even the late 19-teens, there was so much innovation that went into animating those. And you got to think that they had to draw all of those cells and paint all those backgrounds by hand and do inking on celluloid. And then they had to photograph each and every single frame. It's almost like stop motion, but with drawings. And people were just so creative with cartoons back then. Now, I'm not saying people aren't creative with stuff now, but there's just something fascinating about vintage cartoons and vintage media from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and even below then. Well, animation started to degrade by the late 50s in terms of quality, in terms of like smoothness of animation. But that's not to say there weren't good animated subjects during that time. But you just gotta appreciate what those early animators did in order to pave the way for what we have now. I didn't grow up with Rocko's Modern Life, but I did grow up with shows like SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, The Last Airbender, the show, not the movie, by M. Night Shyamalan. And let's see, what else did I grow up with? There was Chalk Zone, there was Rocket Power, there was Cat Dog, there was Cat Scratch. What else was there? There were reruns of Rugrats. I watched a little bit of Rugrats. I watched Jimmy Neutron. That was another one I really liked. I was a big Nickelodeon kid. Now, strangely enough, I wasn't really that big of a Cartoon Network kid. I never really watched all too much of Cartoon Network. Really, all too much at all. I was hooked on those Nicktoons. And that's cool. You want to be an animator. I remember back when I was little, I used to love drawing old cartoons, especially stuff like Mickey Mouse, like the old ones back in the 30s, Felix the Cat, and all those old ink blot cartoons. I used to love drawing all of that because I was just so fascinated by the ways animators were able to do things way back then, and and also at the time I couldn't believe that those old animations managed to survive 80, 90 plus years and still be able to be viewed all these years later. Now, some of them have a considerable amount of film damage on the film reels, but now with today's digital technology, you can clean all that stuff up. Now, I don't know if there's any remastered vintage cartoons of like Felix the Cat and such. I know Disney remastered a couple of their cartoons back in the late 2000s, early 2010s with their Mickey Mouse and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit shorts, but I'm not really sure about other animation studios of that time, because a lot of them had lower budgets than Disney. Disney was the top dog back in the 30s and 40s with their Mickey Mouse shorts, Donald Duck, all the classic stuff, including the Silly Symphonies and all their feature films too, like Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, all of those things. And they were Disney was the top dog and still are the top dog of animation. Now, other studios, like the people that made Popeye, Felix the Cat, and all this stuff, like, it's unfortunate that a lot of people kind of forgot that of their existence. And unfortunately, a lot of the films that survive of those cartoons are often in a poor quality, and they have not been remastered. They're basically like direct scans from the film, and they're not restored, and then not all the film scratches and dust are pretty much left there. At least the last time I've watched a DVD set of those kind of cartoons. So, what's up, Mr. Gila Cuddy? If I said that right. That would be pretty cool, Sticks. G1 Transformers 80s anime. I want to tell you guys that I do not watch anime, and I didn't grow up with anime, and I still don't really watch anime. Now, I've seen a couple animes. Like, I know there's Agresuko. I even made a YouTube poop of that on my Banana Manafoot channel. And I know there's other stuff like Bleach and Lucky Star and all those stereotypical ones like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. Those are the obvious ones. But, as for anime, I just know general facts about anime, and I basically know general information about it. Oh, that's a really cool, May. Yeah, doing it like how Terry did it. Yeah, like the cutouts of the magazines and just, like, doing that in Sony Vegas sounds like it'd be such a chore, though. But hey, as long as you're able to make it work and look good, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. As long as you're able to do it and you don't get too frustrated and you're able to find a good working method in order to do it like that, man, I'm all for it, man. Because Terry Gilliam's animations in the Monty Python TV series and also the movies, all the films, it's just really, really cool, amazing pieces of work. And oftentimes, when people think of Monty Python, they think of the comedy, they think of the offbeat comedy and all that sort of thing. But also what makes Monty Python was Terry's amazing artwork in those films and short subjects in the TV series and Flying Circus and also the Holy Grail and all the other films. And the fact that he's able to get all these different sources and able to make all these crazy, abstract, often humorous animations was often very, 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 very cool to look at. Very, very nice to look at. And I don't remember which animator, but I heard that Terry was actually, everybody has their influences, but I heard Terry was actually influenced by somebody who did something similar to that, who actually made those kind of cutout animations. They did it in around the late 60s, and Terry got really inspired by that. But I don't remember the animator's name. I remember somebody posting about it on Twitter, and somebody mentioned Terry Gilliam under the post of the artists that made stuff like that, but I don't remember his name. Oh yeah, Death Note. Sorry, I've been kind of focused on talking. Whenever I'm talking, I look away from everything, and I just make sure all my efforts go into making sure the thoughts from my brain are correctly articulated and I'm not stumbling all too much. That's really cool, May. I'd really like to see that, man. Sorry, I'm checking messages. Unfortunately, Scourge is not here. He was here early on the stream, but apparently he had to work the graveyard shift, or he has to work the graveyard shift during the weekdays. So he had to get back to work, and he was only here for maybe not even 20 minutes. I guess he was taking a real quick break. Thanks, Sticks. That's very nice of you to say, man. And it's interesting. My personality sometimes changes depending on what kind of place I'm in on the internet. Like if I'm doing a live stream, I'm real with you. Like I'm straight out just telling things how it is, just being myself. But sometimes on video games, my personality changes to whatever. Like I know some people find this game to be kind of cringy. Even though I don't really like that word too much because it's associated with like cringe compilations, and I'm not a really big fan of those because anyway, that's a whole for another story. But anyway, every now and again I play a game called VR Chat, and whenever I play that game, it changes my personality, and I go from a nice, mellow guy to wanting to be the top gun because everybody else is trying to be all hip and cool on that damn game. And sometimes it gets pretty toxic on that game, and I can't take it because so many people are doing stupid shit on it, and I gotta call it quits. Like some people, I can't believe how some people are able to get so immersed on the game. I guess it's because like they're able to get with friends and people that are like-minded like them, and they're chill, and they found their niche, they found their group, they found their clique that they're comfortable with, and I guess that's how they get immersed. But as for me, I don't have a VR headset. But I think even if I did, my eyes would start to hurt, and it wouldn't even help, especially if I was in like a toxic server with like all sorts of like dead memes and people being rude and obnoxious and just being tasteless in terms of their jokes and their avatars. And I'm like, you know what? I'm calling it quits. Like, even if I'm with friends, like, you know what? I sometimes give excuses that I'm quote unquote tired, and even though I may actually be tired, I'm more like I need to leave this kind of toxicity behind me and just call it a night, call it a day. But I don't know. There's just something about the game that brings me back. I think it's just because you're able to interact with people with your own avatar. You're able to upload your own avatar using 3D models, and especially from things like MMD and other like game rips, and you're able to build the bones of the model, and you're able to rig it and upload it using Unity, and that's what the game's based on. And you get to upload your custom avatar, so you could have your favorite anime character, you could have your favorite furry character. You could be a 2D picture. It could be a 4-legged animal. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, I'm actually a lot nicer person and better spoken than how my edits go, because sometimes basically the stuff that's in my edits are like my deep dark thoughts that I need to get out on paper, but not like anything like, ooh, you need to see a therapist kind of stuff. But no, just like the silly kind of offensive stuff that comes to every person. Like, you know what? This may be kind of offensive, but it's pretty damn funny. And I don't actually talk like an edited video. I don't say, "What up, bitch? I'm gonna suck your dick in the shower," and stuff like that. But anyway, no, I'm not like that in real life at all. Could you imagine if people talked like edited sounds? Could you imagine like people do sound like Jack Black for 1 second, then for another second they sound like a rap song, and then they sound like a whole bunch of different sources. Gosh. Could you imagine if people talked like edited videos? And actually like people talked and the sound clips come out of their mouth, like people talk and it's the sound of Jack Black, or it's the sound of Mr. Enter, or some other internet personality that said a curse word and used an edit. That would be so insane. So yeah, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I've been kind of hinting at things, but to be completely and totally honest, I actually really like anthropomorphic animals. Like, you know what I'm talking about, but at the same time, I'm not a really big fan of all the fursonas and all the fursuits and all that sort of thing. Like, sometimes they look nice, but most of the time, I think the suits are kind of creepy, and sometimes a bit of the fandom is kind of weird. Honestly, like there's a really cool community behind all of that stuff, but there's also a weird side. Like, I mean, there's a weird side to every fandom, but you know, when people think of furries and all that stuff, like, I guess I kind of consider myself like a low key one, like kind of like I do like furred creatures, but. But let's be real here. I am not into fursuits. I'm not into like wearing diapers or like doing anything weird like that. I just like animated animal characters. It's just such a fascinating thing. It's just really cool. And sometimes making the characters animals can actually make the character more innocent in a way, because people love animals. People love their dogs. People love their cats. People love their foxes and their wolves and the coyotes, because animals just give off just like that cute, innocent vibe, and it just touches the heart of so many people. And when you have human characters in animation and in live action subjects, just in media in general, people tend to judge them more and as humans, and they don't really get that certain soft spot that people get with animals. And there's just something about that sort of thing that's actually pretty cool, and I just fell in love with over time. I'm glad we're all on the same page here. Sorry if it's not the same thing for you, May. I don't mean any offense to that. That's just how I am with it. I mean, I'm not going to be like, no, you should be burned. You should go to Furry Hill if you wear a fursuit. No, like, forget that, man. Like, I'm not going to be that toxic, upfront guy that's like, no, all fursuiters should be all scat people, all those weird kinky people should be burned in a fire. Like, no, forget that. I'm not for that at all. Just let people live how they want to live, as long as they're not hurting anybody. As long as they're just doing what they love and they're not hurting anybody, that's what matters. That's what matters. Yeah, I'm casual about it. I'm not like super like, no, don't get me wrong. I really love the art that the people put out. Like, I follow a good number of people who draw, furry art on Twitter and such. People have some really cool designs and stuff. Like, also, speaking of designs, like, I've never really liked how there's like this thing in the fandom where people give their sonas like really bright, really weird color combinations, and it's just eye strain to look at. People say, oh, it's so cute, oh, it's so good, and I'm sitting over here like, am I the only one that thinks this looks kind of corny, kind of like there's just something about it that doesn't sit right with me, with these weird color combinations. Like, you have yellow with purple or like green with like brown or something. You know what I'm talking about, y'all? Like, I've never really liked the idea of like really weirdly multicolored sonas. It's weird to me. Like, just like have them be like, I know it's, you know, people's like, well, that's boring, but I just make them the natural color of the real species in real life. Like, it's a fox, make him white or orange or red. If it's a bear, make them brown or black. Don't make it yellow or, you know, neon green. I've always liked just the natural colors. I've never been into that weird abstract, weird color combinations. Anyways, that's all I got to say with that. So, bottom line, I'm casual about it. I'm not like super hardcore or anything like that. But I'm not going to judge anybody who's hardcore about it. So what else out there, y'all? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything at all? Any ideas in mind? Any topics? Because I'd be more than happy to give my thoughts about them. I got time to spare. I could go on until 4 o'clock, honestly. I could go on until 5 and not even realize it. So also sorry, May, if you disagree with anything I say, or anybody in the stream. Sorry if you disagree with me. I don't mean any offense at all. Like, truly, honestly, genuinely, I don't mean any offense at all. Like, there's like no point to like trying to be like the Top Gun and say like, oh, my opinion is superior, my taste is superior to yours. Like, no, like, forget that. Kitty070, wasn't that the wasn't Kitty the person that made those Gary's Mod videos? Because I know she was a YouTuber that passed away a couple years ago, and Kitty has such a huge fan following. Like, I've seen a couple of their videos, they were funny, but I didn't get that certain grasp of those. I wasn't obsessed with Gary's Mod videos. Really, like, but the ones that did stick with me, however, were those Idiots of Gary's Mod videos. Idiots of Gary's Mod. These were the ones I liked the most. Now, they're full of outdated memes and stuff, but at the time, I thought they were really clever, really funny, and they're full of old memes like Banana Phone and like the Chacarone Macaron and the Hypno Frog. I mean, look at it. It just screams 2007, 2008. I mean, look at it. Look, there's the Banana Phone song with that character. Oh yeah, Pill's here. Does anybody remember that Scout face meme? Everybody's profile picture used to be this. Everybody's picture used to be this. Oh, that's an animated GIF. What the heck? Good times. Good times. All those classic Gary's Mod videos. I wasn't really a big watcher of Gary's Mod videos or Source Filmmaker videos. But I respected them, though. A lot of them had a really good amount of effort put into them. And I remember I attempted to make a Gary's Mod video. Oh, actually, I did make a Gary's Mod video a long time ago, but it was kind of amateur, and it was kind of based on old stuff. It was based on the Idiots of Gary's Mod stuff. And I was having too many technical difficulties with making Gary's Mod videos, so I just kind of quit. And also, truth be told, I actually downloaded Gary's Mod for free. I didn't. Yeah, was and still am a cheapskate, and I like to get my games for free. No, I don't like go out pirating and stuff. Like I play like free to play games, and that's just kind of how I roll. Though if there's a game that really catches my eye, I'd be willing to pay for it. But usually I go free to play. I know that's people like, yeah, you're free to play, motherfucker, you know. But like, but anyway, no, that I admit it. I'm cheap. I'm a tightwad. I want to save my money. I don't even have that much money to begin with, and yeah. Let's see. What kind of music do I like? I'm sorry, I've been kind of losing track of the comments. My favorite music, I listen to all kinds of music. I like alternative, I like indie, I love folk music. I like classical, I like jazz, but I actually genuinely, unironically like jazz. Like jazz is a great genre, especially from the 60s down to, like the stuff from the 1960s and down to other, that was the golden age of jazz. People like Miles Davis, Count Basie, and Duke Ellington, and Louis Armstrong, and John Coltrane, people like that. Freaking great, amazing music, master musicians. And to think they had to deal with all that segregation and all that racism back in that time. But they persevered, and they captured the hearts of all colored people. Like, no, I know I'm sounding like a melting pot sort of guy, but like that's how I truly feel about it. Like, I'm for people's rights and all that stuff. Like, I'm not like some closet KKK member or like member of the Black Panther or something. Not the Black Panther, the Marvel film or the Marvel character, but like the Black Panther, like the ultra African movement back in the 60s where they were out to like kill white people. But no, anyway, I'm getting off track. And yes, my favorite color is orange. Though nowadays I really like the color blue. But at the same time, I still really love orange. Orange and blue are my favorite colors. Oh, did I mention I also like classical music? I also really like classical music too, like Beethoven. I know that's really like the bass stuff. Rossini, Tchaikovsky, and other things like that. I did actually like MLP at the time, and you know what? I think it was 2010. I got introduced to the MLP, and I really enjoyed it at the time. I didn't really have a following of any show or fandom at the time. I wasn't really interested in any show or cartoon at the time, but I mean, besides the ones I watched during my childhood. But like as for new shows, I didn't really watch new shows, but MLP really garnered my interest, and I did become a brony. But this is absolutely important. I quit the fandom in 2014, 4 years ago now, because I greatly lost interest in the show. I was not liking how the fandom was going. It was kind of a dying thing, and I was sick of waiting of the seasons to come out. The movies were okay. I liked them at first, and then as time moved on, the movies didn't really age well. And I just lost interest in it, and I quit the fandom back in 2014 because I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. I didn't really see the appeal of it anymore. It was a phase. It was truly a phase. Now, I didn't know at the time it was going to be a phase, but I'm kind of glad it was a phase. Because, I mean, thinking back upon it now, I'm like, oh, yeah, MLP's an okay show, I guess. Like, I don't really know what I found so special in it, but maybe because it was all the fan service in it at the time. When Lauren Faust was like really involved in the show, she wanted to put a lot of fan service in the cartoon at the time. But then it just things just kind of dwindled for me. I lost interest in it, and I've looked back, but I've never, really I never considered actually, putting a bunch of time and effort in watching it again, because it's just, now I think it's just an okay show. Like it's okay. I don't think it's anything special anymore. We might have actually been separated at birth, May. Gravity Falls. I never actually watched Gravity Falls. Interesting enough. Like, I'm really out of the times. Like, let me also tell this to everybody. When it comes to new shows and new cartoons, I am really, really out of the loop when it comes to new cartoons. Like, I know what Gravity Falls is. Like, I know what all those new shows are. Like, Wander of Yonder and things like that. But, like, I can't tell you the specific details about any episodes. Like, I know there's Dipper and there's Mabel Pines, and there's, like, I know the names and some of the, like, I can, like, if you show me a picture of the show, like, yeah, that's Gravity Falls. But I can't tell you that all the details about the episodes and all that sort of thing. And I just haven't been following very many modern cartoons very lately. One of those reasons is because I like to focus my time in other things like school and other shows for some reason. Just, I don't know. It's weird. I'm just really out of the loop when it comes to new shows, live action or animated. And it's kind of unfortunate. I usually just know the general information about the new stuff that comes out. It's kind of interesting, but I don't know. I guess I'm just an old-fashioned internet type of guy. I'm just kind of old-fashioned, I guess. Though I don't dress old-fashioned. I dress like any person from 2018 would. I'm just wearing a t-shirt with shorts. Nothing special. But as for like my interests, I'm kind of behind of what people are into, really. And I'm just kind of, playing catch up with everybody, but not always that I want to, because a lot of the things nowadays I try to keep away from, because I don't think a lot of the things that even though there's some things out there that people think are popular, they think are cool and stuff, I see those things as becoming as fads, and they're going to die off, and then there's just no real rhyme or reason to just put time and effort into something that's not even going to last that long. I'm actually more of a dog person, but yes, cats can be very, very good pets. They can. In fact, there's a cat that goes on my porch every day. He is such a sweet kitty. He's I think he's a tabby, and he meows so much. It's so cute. He's such a precious little guy. And the only cats I don't like are the cats that are just really antisocial and just walk away from you, and they just don't want any part of you. And they just walk away. I don't like cats that are, that are scared off easily, that are do that sort of thing. Now, dogs are my favorite pet, because I guess I'm a little bit biased. I do have my dog. She is a Chihuahua, but also I know a lot of people out there hate Chihuahuas, because the stereotype is that they're yappy. They hate people. They're always showing their teeth. They're always going crazy. But truth be told, my Chihuahua is probably one of the mellowest Chihuahuas I've ever ran into. She is so mellow. She only barks when somebody rings on the doorbell or knocks on the door, and after that, she's wagging her tail, all happy, nice, all happy to see the visitor at the door. And other than that, she's very quiet, always lazy, just laying, just chilling, just doing her own thing. And she doesn't shake uncontrollably all the time. She only does that during fireworks or lightning storms. I mean, understandably, as a dog, you think it's the end of the world. Yeah. But yeah, I like cats. But to backtrack, I like cats that are social and love to cuddle and like to come up to you and like pet me, stuff like that. And not cats that are skittish and just run away whenever you come close. I don't like that. I like cars. I like cars that are reliable. I'm not really into like Bugattis or like Lamborghinis or Ferraris. I'm more into stuff like I know some people might find these like to be expensive, and can be pretty expensive, especially the new ones. Like new cars can be like $50,000-$60,000, and it's just crazy. It's like, who wants to pay that much for a new car when the car you have now already has all the features you could possibly need? But anyway, the car brands I'm interested in. I actually don't have a car and I don't drive yet, but I'm looking to drive sometime soon in the future. And the car brands that really garner my interest are really basic, nothing fancy like Bugatti or Lamborghini, like I said, but stuff like Lexus, Toyota, Honda, stuff like that, Acura. I'm not really into muscle cars either, like stuff like Chargers or Mustangs. I'm not into those because I don't need all that power. I just want something that's reliable, that's convenient, that's comfy. I'd really like a car that has leather seats, reliable just overall reliable comfy car. And I'm really looking at sedans, not really if SUVs or anything like that, because they oftentimes have bad gas mileage. So sedans usually have pretty decent gas mileage, though sometimes that's not true, because there are some sedans that have like V6 and V8 engines that have like 18 to 17 miles a gallon, which is kind of on the lower side. But usually sedans and smaller cars like that have better gas mileage than crossover SUVs or just SUVs and trucks and vans and other car makes. I have not listened to The Caretaker's Empty Bliss Beyond the World in its entirety. I've only listened to excerpts from his stuff, but from what I can tell, is some very soothing, very mysterious, very, very well put together and remixed songs of 20s and 30s songs long forgotten, then resurfaced to become abstract in a whole different way. And I should really get into listening to one of the Caretaker's listen to the Caretaker's albums in full, because out of all the excerpts I heard, it sounds pretty darn good. Sounds very mysterious, very abstract, very otherworldly. Like it takes you, like I feel like if I listen to the whole thing, I'd have like a whole another world perspective or something. I don't actually listen to Radiohead very often, though I have heard that Radiohead is a very good band, and they released an album in the mid-90s that's just like filled with all of these, like it's people call it like one of the best albums of all time. And truth be told, I have my taste in music in terms of alternative and indie music. I get it a lot from my mom and my dad, because they more listen to that. I'm usually bigger into folk music, classical music, jazz, and kind of like more refined things. But though when a nice jam comes on, there's a good beat going on, an indie rock song or an alternative band that sounds good, I'm like, yeah, man. I start to nod my head and I start to get into the beat and I do enjoy that sort of thing, but like I can't truly honestly say that I'm like super into like that sort of thing, but I can really respect artists that do that sort of thing, that are in the alternative and indie scenes, because they're doing as best as they can to make themselves, to make their bands unique and try to put something out there that's not like anything else out there in the mainstream. And I hate, like, I know I sound like a total hipster, and I don't like the word hipster because it makes me sound like one of those like scarf wearing, fedora hat wearing people sipping on a Starbucks in Seattle. But I don't like mainstream stuff that's played on the radio. It's garbage. It's hot garbage. It's awful. I cannot stand listening to it. I gotta like plug in earbuds or just bear with just hearing trash lyrics, trash beats, and things like that. And to answer your question, Sticks, I am not into conspiracy theories. I'm into the hard facts, the hard truths, the hard facts, not into any conspiracy theories. Though some are a little interesting, but I'm not like a full-on, like a full-on, like tinfoil hat wearing, Alex Jones, cursing, mumbling kind of stuff. Yeah, the mainstream is really bad. Like stuff like Michael Jackson and Prince and all that stuff in the 80s. That stuff was good. Like, I can't say I'm super into stuff like Michael Jackson, but I respect those artists from the 80s and 80s and 70s from the mainstream so much, so much more than what's out there now. It's honestly just really sad how the mainstream music industry is going these days. But also, a lot of people say modern music sucks, but not all modern music sucks. You just got to dig deeper. Good artists are making good albums out there. You just got to dig for them. Especially people who comment like on older songs from the 70s and 80s, like, oh, it's become a meme at this point where it's like, oh, I'm 12 years old and I really love Led Zeppelin, or I'm 10 and I love and I love Journey. Or I'm 13 years old and I love AC/DC, or I'm 13 and I love Pink Floyd and all that stuff. But anyway, the point being, there is still good music out there being made today. You just gotta dig deeper to search for it. It's kind of unfortunate that good to good music can't be found on the radio anymore. It just can't. They play the songs too much. They just put everything in rotation and just play everything that's just in the top 10, and they don't really they don't mix it up very much. They just go with the status quo and call it a day, and I can't stand listening to the radio. It's not really the media telling us that like modern music is bad. It's more like people online doing other stuff. If you're the media, if you're talking about the media, maybe you're referring back to conspiracy theories. Well, no, I don't always believe in the media sometimes, but like I'd say a good 70 to 80% of the time, I take in information on news outlets, on trusted news outlets that are, I make sure that they're not too biased one side or another, and I try to get the straight facts on things and not just, live my life not knowing what's going on in the world. Because, truth be told, I actually am quite interested in politics and history and the news, but it's just it's not a very nice landscape out there at the moment. Everything is just so toxic right now that just bringing up anything in politics is just going to cause a whole shitstorm, going to cause a huge avalanche of shit to just trample everything that was once good before the mentioning of anything that has to do with politics. That is true, Cuddy. I'm sorry, I'm bad at butchering names sometimes, especially if it's usernames. But yeah, so many beats, sound the same in modern music. Like, literally, like, sometimes I can't even distinguish the singers apart. They sound so similar in pop music these days. Like, I'm pretty sure they just hire the same producers and just keep rolling mediocre to garbage songs, and they just always sound. I don't know how people just listen to that. To people who just listen to pop, I don't know how they do it. They got to be crazy. They got to have, some. Got to be something up, man. With those kind of people who just listen to modern pop and nothing else. They want that beat to drop, and it's just that same beat drop. It goes, and then people go crazy when the beat drops. With the deep bass and while the DJ is sitting on the stage, just pressing buttons on his iMac, on his MacBook, just pressing buttons, not spinning vinyl, not messing with the mixers, just pressing buttons on his MacBook, on his laptop, on a beat he probably made in like maybe 2 hours or less. May. If we're this good friends online, I can only imagine how good of friends we'd be in real life. And honestly, we should meet up sometime in the future. Like, once I'm off and well off for myself, have a good paying job, I have a good income, I have a good, financial standing, because I care about this sort of stuff. I want to have a good financial standing, and I have enough money to go and take flights to go visit people and visit places and do things I haven't done or places I haven't seen before, and visit even possibly internet friends. That is true, Cuddy. People do listen and do modern things just to get with the trends, to be popular. But they don't realize is that all that fame and all that attention is only going to last for a short period of time, and then it's just going to get replaced by something else. And it's just a continuous cycle of trends that just overlap each other and take over each other, and then it's just trend after trend, and it just takes over. There's a trend, and then that trend dies, and then there's another trend, that trend dies, and then another trend comes in fashion and music and taste and things like that. So good night, Sticks. It was nice having you here, man. Great having all of you guys here. Thank you for the kind words, Sticks, and all the nice topics to bring up. Oh yeah, man. Though I gotta talk with you. I gotta talk with you about something. I hope it's okay. I talk about you. Talk about it with you on the live stream. Because Cuddy, I live in the Grand Lone Star State of Texas, or Tejas, as the Caddo Native Americans used to say. And then the Spanish and the Mexicans took it up, and then they used Texas, and then the Americans turned it into Texas. But May, to get back on the point, is it all right if I talk about you with something real quick on the stream, man? If that's okay. And that topic is drugs, man. Them drugs, and specifically the weeds, the marijuanas, the Mary Jane, the cannabis, the good, the wacky tobacco. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for the long pause. I think there's a considerable delay between the stream and the comments, unfortunately. The thing is, May, is that I am a straight edge, boring guy. Like, I'm not interested in, drugs or weed or beer or alcoholic beverages. I'm just a boring, straight edge guy that's not interested in getting out. Like, because, like, you've told me in the comment section that, dude, you got some pretty trippy trips. And the stories you tell are pretty neat. And it's sometimes scary, man. Like the one you were watching of that Zootopia YouTube poop, and you said that you were like having a real bad trip, and I don't know. That's something I'm really into, to be honest, man. And I don't mean anything like that personally. Like I know I'm sorry if I'm sounding like a hard ass, but maybe I'm making just too big a deal of it. I don't know, but. Point being, I'm just not into the drug scene or the alcohol scene or anything like that. I'm boring and straight edge, as Rock Orange would say, a fellow editor. Straight edge asshole. Los Angeles. Not really sure, but should I visit Los Angeles someday? I don't know. It's just that if I was worried that like if I came to visit you, like, hey man, want a spark of this blunt, man? It'll take you on a good trip, man. It'll make the YouTube poop experience that much better. And I'd be like, sorry, May, but like, I'm a straight edge asshole. And I'm not into that sort of thing. I like my YouTube poop sober. Nothing personal, man. Like, truly, man. Like, you seem like a very awesome person, man. Like, honestly, truly, genuinely, man. Like, we connect on so many different levels. We love a lot of the same things. And it would be a pleasure to meet you in person, man. And you seem like you do pretty funny things with your friends too. Like I remember you recorded some videos on your channel. You're just chilling out with your entourage and just playing games, talking about stuff, watching YouTube poops and all that stuff. That's good, man. That's good. Glad you're not into the peer pressure stuff, man. Like, man, and the thing is, whenever I see stuff like that, there's sometimes like, man, you should try. I'm like, no, man, I'm not into that sort of thing. Like, I like being clear-minded. I like being free of substances, and that's just the way I roll. I know what you mean, Cuddy. I know what you mean. That's good, man. Like, I don't want to hang out with no heroin crackhead. Man, I'm pretty sure you weren't like that. I didn't even assume you were like that to begin with, but in general, I wanted to hang out with some druggy crackhead. Like, hey, man, you want to buy some heroin? Yeah, come into my van. I got lots of drugs waiting for you. I hope if any editors are watching this, that maybe you use some of my sound bites in the edit. Well, geez, May. I like how responsible you are with your substance. I admire it. I admire your sophisticated ability to keep things to yourself and not give in to peer pressure. in order to sound weird about it, but I got you, man. Well, that's cool. That's good. That's good. And you know what? I'm actually for the legalization of marijuana, believe it or not. Even though I don't use it myself. Like, it's known that cannabis is used to, for medication in order to relieve people that have PTSD and anxiety, and sometimes that medical marijuana is just just the right treatment for people. And also, I believe that cannabis, that weed, that marijuana, that good, the wacky tobacco, like I said earlier, it should be treated like beer. It should be treated like alcohol. It shouldn't be like a felony to own cannabis. I think there's so many people that are probably incarcerated that are just got in there just because they had a big stash of weed and they're just keeping to themselves, and some snitch told them like, hey, that guy has a lot of weed in his house, you guys should go in there. And like, though in real life the cops would be like, how do you know about this? But anyway, besides that, well, that's cool, man. I want to go to a hip hop festival. Oh, by the way, you guys, I forgot to mention this in my music genres. I can't believe I forgot. I love old school and underground hip hop and rap music, man. Like people like the Wu-Tang Clan, Black Moon, Gang Starr, A Tribe Called Quest. You know, those kind of guys. They are badass. They make some badass music, man. And it's just so good. The lyrics are so good. The flows are so good. The production, everything. It's just top notch. I love old school underground hip hop. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. And believe it or not, there was a festival here in Austin. I live in Austin, by the way. That's in Central Texas. And they were going to have a hip-hop festival with all these old school guys like Mobb Deep, EPMD, all these old hip-hop, Public Enemy, all those guys. But believe it or not, it was canceled. And the reason why it was canceled was because there was a police officer in Dallas that got shot and killed. And some of the artists there are associated with, with resisting police, and I guess it would have been too controversial to have it right after the killing of a police officer in the same state, so they canceled the show. And I was very disappointed because it would have been my first ever concert. It would have been my first live concert. It would have been so good. The stoner coacher. Scoob, you should try some of this dank weed, Scoob.
Dang, Maggie, this is some good weed.
Dang, man. Oh, I'm sure the hip-hop scene is pretty big down there in LA, man. Though, man, I think, and no, I know for sure. I know this for sure that the mecca of hip hop is in New York City, man. The Bronx, man, Queens, where people like oh my gosh, who came from there? Like the Beastie Boys and Run DMC, like all those cats from New York, man. That's the birthplace of hip hop. I'd really like to go there and check out some hip hop places. And I'm sure LA is pretty good, man. They got that West Coast hip hop, man. Like you got people like Ice Cube and NWA and Compton's Most Wanted, all those good West Coast artists, and even the underground artists on the West Coast too that have that nice old school boom bap type of hip hop. But I'd like to go to NYC. I've never been there before. I'd like to go. Maybe LA too. But my only concern about LA is that, there's some bad parts about it, and also, there's all that stuff about, LA. I think it's not nearly as bad as it used to be, but there was a lot of smog and pollution in LA once upon a time, I think, or maybe still now, but I'm pretty sure it got better, and that there's more regulations in place in order to keep emissions down in Los Angeles. But I remember my grandparents went there before. They visited Hollywood and all the popular strips and stuff, and I might consider going to LA one day. A good number of people on my mom's side live in St. Louis. May. That's cool. That's cool. Good. That's cool, man. Yeah, there's a lot of good rap. There's rappers out there that have some good personalities. That they're good people that donate to charities, that donate back to the communities they grew up in, and they spread conscious lyrics for everybody to hear, and they give out real life stuff, man. Like, and that's one thing I love about hip hop, man. There's none of that mumbo jumbo stuff. Like, they're straight up like giving you the straight facts without any like weird like corny singing or any like weird stuff like that. They just give you the straight facts, hard, with like an aggressive tone, just rapping it out with poetry, with like sometimes with like amazing lyrical capabilities, with such like really good like flows and just great beats, and just oh man, it's great. Rap music can be so good, but recently it's just been tarnished by all the people in the mainstream, and so many people these days associate rap with trap music, and all those mumble rappers and people like Lil Yachty and Migos and people like that. Like all those garbage rappers that like make all that whack shit, man, like Lil Uzi and stuff like that. Like, no offense if you like those people, Cuddy, but I don't like trap or mumble rap, man. That stuff's whack to me. I can't stand it most of the time. The food that's usually served in Texas, lots of Tex-Mex. I mean, actually, Texas has a good deal of very restaurants. Like, we have Italian food, we have Mexican food, of course. Like, the Mexican food here is the bomb. We have a lot of barbecue places, lots of really good barbecue places. We got fried chicken, we got burgers, we got all sorts of meats. Lots of meat, lots of steaks and lots of steaks and ribs and chicken wings and just all sorts of different kinds of meat, man. Texas has some freaking awesome barbecue, man. Like even though it's a stereotype of Texas, like that stereotype makes sense. Like, Texas has some bomb ass barbecue. Let me tell you what. Oh, Young Thug. I've heard of Young Thug before. I've never really listened to his music all too much, because I usually listen, like I said, to all the old school and underground stuff. All that boom bap stuff, with like the classic rap beats. You know what I'm saying? And like the record scratches and all the freaking sick cuts people make on the turntables and all that stuff. I love that, man. So much skill that goes into DJing with turntables, like real DJing, like turning turntables using vinyl, like syncing up the beat and the samples, and just finding the samples, digging through the crates, like they say. Oh, dude. It's fantastic stuff, and it's brilliant what those kind of producers do with that sort of thing. Now, some rappers I'm pretty down and okay with, like J. Cole is a good. Childish Gambino is also pretty good. Kendrick Lamar is okay, though. He's good. I think he's all right, but I'm not really into Kendrick Lamar. Can't really say I'm into Kendrick. I'm more like J. Cole's cool, and Childish Gambino is pretty cool too. But not Kendrick Lamar. I'm not really into Kendrick Lamar for some odd reason. There's a Joey Badass. Joey Badass is all right. He's not too bad at all, actually. Oh, dude, yeah, dude. There used to be a restaurant here in town that used to serve kebabs, and it's like they used to serve it with not like kebabs, like the meat on a stick, but like kebabs with a with the it's there's something different about it. So it's basically you can order it with lamb meat, with lamb, beef, or chicken or something like that. You could, and it's basically like kind of like a Mediterranean taco sort of thing, but it had like this unique breading. It was called gosh, what was it called? I forgot what the restaurant was called. It was I forgot what the heck it was called. But there was this restaurant where I'm trying to look it up. Yeah, no, honestly, I haven't actually listened to Damn in its entirety. Like I've only listened to like excerpts of like his singles that came out from the song, like like the songs that became popular. I'd have to actually sit down and listen to the album myself. I've heard good things about Kendrick, man. Oh, dude, the Incredible sequel was fantastic. It was such a good sequel. I loved it, man. The action was good. The voice casting was good. They had all the original cast back as the members that, well, except for Jack. Well, not Jack, but Dash, and basically anybody who was a little kid in the original Incredibles. We had to get new voice actors. But as for that, man, the voice acting was great. The story was great. The animation was great. The soundtrack was great. Everything about that movie was very good. Now, I wasn't sure how I was gonna. I was kind of worried that the movie wasn't going to be as good as the first one, but it holds itself up pretty good, man. It's a pretty good sequel. It's a very good sequel, actually, and Pixar did a very good job at it, man. The villain was good. Not the best villain ever, but she was cool. I mean, she really backstabbed the main characters, but anyway, that's kind of a spoiler, but it's such a good film. It was a very good movie. I really enjoyed it. I went to go see it with my dad and my sister, and I gotta say it exceeded my expectations. And you know what? They did make Helen's butt bigger. And you know what? I think it's to address the thick crowd. Extra thick, as Aku would say from Samurai Jack. Truth be told, I do actually like that meme. I do like the thick meme. It's one of the few modern memes I actually think is funny. But yeah, they made Helen's ass really big in that movie. Like, they really emphasized her legs and her butt. I remember I went on YouTube, and it was a scene from the original Incredibles. So it's when she's checking herself out in the mirror while going to save her family. And all the comments below the video were just so bad, man. They were just like, "Oh man, I get off to this every night, man. Like I love Helen's ass, man." Or like Mr. Incredible's a lucky man, and like, oh man, I jerk off to Helen Parr every night, man. Yeah, like we're such big ass, extra thick, so big, man. It's things like that. You gotta look at it for yourself. The comment section of that video is something to behold. It pretty much summarizes how people feel about animated women in a pretty accurate way. Let me just tell you that much. So, May, are you still there, man? You've been kind of quiet. No, I'm kind of quiet too, but... Oh, there he is. Man, when it comes to animated women, human or not, man, people freaking... I can't believe how freaking thirsty people get on the internet. At least, maybe they're trolling, but I have a feeling some people are pretty genuine about it. Like, man... I go to porn websites and I type in _Incredibles and oh man, man, my mouth waters just looking at them juicy asses, man. Maybe I'm making it more weird than it actually is, but no, people are probably doing weirder things than how I'm saying it. Oh, dude, yeah, people were freaking out over Judy, man. Like, I remember there was a tweet around the time Zootopia was released. And I believe it said, I can't believe Disney has made me want to fuck a rabbit. Or it was some viral post like that. And then, like, people compared, like, Judy to, like, Jessica Rabbit what was it? What was the movie called? Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and also Lola Bunny from Space Jam and stuff like that. No, I didn't fart. It was probably the chair. But, dude, even after all the dumb memes, like, do you guys remember that one Zootopia meme where it has like that? It's like that comic strip, and like Judy is like got pregnant because of Nick, and people like made like a big meme out of it because of like all the facial expressions that they made in that. It was like that black and white, like it was designed like a manga, and it became such a huge meme, and it just further tarnished Zootopia. And I did not like that meme at all. I thought it was pretty garbage, honestly. And also, truth be told, Zootopia is my favorite animated Disney movie, bar none. I think it's better than Moana. I think it's better than all the classics. Well, actually, no, not the classics, because the classics of the classics are so good. Like all the movies Disney made from like the 80s under, even the 90s, like the classics. But like Zootopia is easily the best animated Disney movie of modern times, by far. And it's not even because they have animals in it. I'm like, the story is so good. The chemistry between the two characters, Nick and Judy, is so good. The animation is so good. And another part I loved about the movie is that it wasn't a musical. They didn't shoehorn all these musical numbers in it. They focused on the story. They didn't try to come up with some hit song. Yeah, there was Try Everything. But they didn't make that the focus of the movie. They focused on the plot of the movie. They focused on the plot in the movie, and they actually made had some deep messages within it, like, and they like, the moral of the story was about like how And it's just, you can relate to the plot of the story so well to what is happening in real life in terms of racial profiling and, segregation and all the, bigotry that goes on here in the real world sometimes. And how, like, divided people can be and just judge people off of their, just their appearances, And it was such a relatable movie, and the voice acting was so good, the animation was so good, the plot line was so good, all the characters were memorable, and it didn't focus on any dumb musicals. It was story based, and I would love to see a sequel to that movie. I mean, I think Zootopia, out of all the movies they've been making, like, forget Frozen, forget all those other movies that the Disney Animation Studios bring out. I want to see a Zootopia sequel, because that movie is begging for one. It is begging for a sequel, because the chemistry between Nick and Judy is so good, and there's just so many possibilities that you could do in the world of Zootopia. There's the rainforest, there's the Saharan desert, and who knows, they may even, if they make a sequel, they could extend it even further beyond the established world. There's just so many possibilities that you could do with that world inside Zootopia. There's just so much potential for a good sequel and good storytelling within that universe. And Disney's just kind of putting it off. When, like, a sequel of that movie would be amazing. And could you imagine if the sequel was actually better than the first one? If they make a sequel of Zootopia, I'd like to see it to have a more mature theme to it. A little more like crime drama. Though that may be asking too much, because I don't know. Because I know a lot of little kids went to go see it, and a lot of little kids love it. A lot of the family. But I know that nowadays is able to have a more darker edge to their movies, especially Zootopia and other movies like that. They're able to have a darker edge to it. And I'd like to see them explore that more in a sequel. And I'd like to see even more mature themes, like sex or like blood and gore. But I'm talking about just like, I'd like to see an animated movie from Disney that's basically the equivalent of a live action drama. That's like the equivalent of like really well acted live action movies. I'd like to see an animated movie just in general, not even from Disney, that has like, it's acted out as if it's like a live action movie, and like all the dialogue and everything is believable and it's like realistic. I don't know. Anyway, that would be really cool. So my ancestry, to answer May's question, I hail from multiple different countries. Believe it or not, I am of a mixed race. I am both Hispanic and white. And so one part of my heritage derives from Spain. Another part of my heritage derives from the United Kingdom and Germany. And also Mexico. That is true. Yeah, Ratatouille was pretty good too, and it was a really unique movie too. In fact, most of Pixar's movies are pretty unique. They usually always try to go for a different setting and different universes to explore within when it comes to Pixar. For sure. But yes, I am of Hispanic and white ancestry from Spain and Mexico and Germany and the United Kingdom, mainly. My least favorite animated Disney movie, probably Frozen. I can't believe how hyped up that movie got. And the fact that one of the songs from it became like a top 5 hit in the US, man, and it just got oversaturated. They played that song way too much over the radio. There was so much airplay of it. And there's like, no matter where you were, it was everywhere. And all the merchandising of it, like, the movie itself isn't too bad. But it's definitely towards the mediocre side. Like, it's not anything too special to me. I think all the hype really ruined Frozen. Like, all of that marketing and all the stuff afterwards just kind of ruined it for me. And it just, I don't know, just Frozen is definitely my least favorite Disney movie. For sure. Definitely Frozen. Just not into that princess stuff. It was so aimed at little girls. It tried to be a little more family-oriented movie where everybody, guys and girls, can enjoy it. But you could tell it was really catering towards the little girls and the ladies. Yeah, not a big fan, May. Not a big fan at all. It has, to me, very low rewatch value in the movie. Disney got lucky with that one. They're lucky they got a lot of airplay from that song and lots of merchandising and advertising efforts in that movie. I think they were pretty lucky to be successful off that movie. You know, in place of Frozen's success, I would have much rather wanted the Princess and the Frog. I would have much rather wanted the Princess and the Frog to be that top grossing movie. I would have liked Princess and the Frog to. I would have liked for it to have gotten the same amount of success as Frozen gotten, because that's a pretty underrated movie, The Princess and the Frog, and it's the last 2D Disney animated movie that Disney has made so far. I have not seen Planes, but I've heard pretty mixed things about it. I don't see it's Cars was a good movie. It wasn't bad. Cars was not a bad movie at all. It wasn't great, but it also wasn't bad. Not nearly bad. The first Cars was a solid film. It was a pretty solid film. But then when it started going all out like marketing horror on that series, and then they did that spinoff of Planes, like it was basically Disney just trying to get everything off, just trying to produce cash grab movies just because of the success of Cars, and just kind of like, attempt to get more money in through like dumb ideas. Like in Planes, like really, like I've never seen it, but it looks bad. It looks bad. And there's a Planes 2. There's a sequel to Planes. Now, I think if I have seen Planes, it probably would be worse than Frozen. Out of all the movies I've seen, Frozen's the worst. But I think if I saw Planes, I think Planes would go to the number one animated movie by Disney that I wouldn't like. I believe you. I believe you 100%. Like Disney, you can be such an amazing animation company sometimes, but other times you let the greed sometimes you let that greed and that want of money get in the way of uniqueness and creativity, and it just worsens your image, because people know and can tell that some of the things like Planes are just to get that cash, that extra cash, and to make more money, just to base it off the marginal success of Cars, and just trying so hard to make more money off of the Cars franchise, of the Cars series. And Disney needs to lay off. Like, I know it's probably never going to happen, but if Disney could just lay off some of the greedy, kind of sometimes almost shady things that then just focused on creativity and actually being genuine with people, and actually focusing their efforts on creativity and genuineness and things like that, and focus less on making so much money and buying out things, I think people would view Disney as a much more favorable company, and they'd be putting out great films all the time. I think I've committed a cardinal sin when I say that I have not seen Big Hero 6. Now, even though I haven't seen Big Hero 6, from what I can tell, it's a kind of an underrated Disney movie just by the way it looks, because it looks like a really good film. And there's a pretty decent following behind it, but it's I don't hear people talking about Big Hero 6. And it has really good ratings from the critics and fans. But as in like general popularity, like it gets outshined by other films. And even though I haven't seen it, I feel like it's kind of unfair to Big Hero 6. In a way. In many ways, actually. So unfortunately, I have not seen Big Hero 6. Like I said, like when it comes to some things animation, I'm kind of out of the loop. Because, I don't know, sometimes I just haven't gotten to some things yet. Like, it's weird. I'm a weird person when it comes to like movies and animated stuff. Like, I might have seen Zootopia, but I haven't seen Big Hero 6. I might have seen SpongeBob, but I didn't really watch Invader Zim, or weird things like that. Or like people really love anime, but I don't watch anime. I don't know, I'm just a weird guy. I've seen some things and I haven't seen some things. It's weird. And that's my spiel on that. Whew. Any more questions, y'all? I actually haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph 2. I didn't think Wreck-It Ralph I didn't think the second Wreck-It Ralph 2, I didn't think it came out yet. I thought it was still waiting release later in the year. But I saw the trailer for Wreck-It Ralph 2, and the end of the trailer is absolute gold. I forgot what the little girl character is, but she enters the dressing room of all these Disney princesses, and all of them just like freak out. And I think like Cinderella breaks her slipper, and she like it's basically the equivalent of like breaking a bottle and using it to stab somebody. But she uses her slipper like that. She breaks it and she like threatens to stab her with it. And then she's just like, chill, y'all. Like, I'm a princess too. And then they like ask her all these different questions. And they like interrogate her and stuff. Like, that part of the trailer was probably the most memorable part for me. Like, I haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph 2, but that part of the trailer really stood out to me for sure. That was a pretty good bit of it. But no, I have not seen Wreck-It Ralph 2. I'm not sure if it's a good movie or not. I actually haven't even looked at the ratings or what people are really saying about it. But it's good. For some reason, I don't really remember the whole story of it. But it was a pretty well-received film, and I remember liking it. I'm actually not actually sure if I've seen the entirety of Wreck-It Ralph, the first one. But from what I can remember, it was a good film. Though it's not one I really remember in terms of like the plot and the story. But I do remember the characters, that's for sure. But I remember the characters' designs. Yeah, she was about to stab a child with her broken slipper. She was about to freaking nail that child and just shoot. If that little girl survived the wrath of Cinderella's golden blue slipper, man, she'd have to get so many stitches, and she probably wouldn't even look the same. Crazy bitch, Cinderella, man. You know, that's why Lord Farquaad in Shrek, he said when he saw Cinderella, he's like, you know what? That girl is crazy. I'm going to marry that Fiona girl instead, because that Cinderella girl, she probably has some daddy issues, and I'm not going to go for that. And I do like DreamWorks movies, actually, even though DreamWorks movies are kind of plagued with memes right now. Like, Shrek is plagued with so many memes. Some good, some bad. Some edge towards more bad memes than good memes, honestly. And a lot of other things in DreamWorks are like so heavily memed and just, especially, like I said, especially Shrek and stuff. And another thing, man, like another blasphemous thing is I haven't seen the entirety of How to Train Your Dragon. And I hear that's like one of the best of DreamWorks. But however, I have seen the first two Kung Fu Pandas. Now, I really liked the first two Kung Fu Pandas, especially the first one. The first one is freaking great. Kung Fu Panda, man. Great voice acting. That was a really good film. I remember watching Prince of Egypt a long time ago at a friend's house, and I don't think I finished watching it, but I remember really liking the animation. And of course, it's a story about Moses and his eventual, it's the biblical story. It's based off the Bible, and it's about Moses and how he escaped Egypt with the Jewish people, and then they crossed the river, they parting of the Red Sea, and all that great stuff. And I haven't seen El Dorado, though I know there's a cult following behind that movie. There's a good amount of people that like El Dorado, but I haven't seen El Dorado in its entirety. I've only seen short clips of it. The Prince of Egypt, I watched about the beginning of it, and I don't remember the rest. But I know it's really well animated, and it's kind of a shame that DreamWorks decided to go the way of Pixar and Disney and just went full on 3D. Kind of a shame. Though, I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles in the animation world, and just 3D movies make a profit. Computer-generated movies make a profit. And 2D movies are generally more expensive to make, and they haven't been making animation studios all too big of a profit, unfortunately, which is kind of a shame, because 2D animated movies can be just such beautiful masterpieces of art. Just so much effort. You can tell so much passion went into some particular 2D movies, man. The most unique animated movie I've seen, I think I'd have to go with Ponyo. And even though I don't watch anime, I've heard so many good things about Miyazaki's work in feature films and short subjects, and I actually saw Ponyo, and that was such a really beautifully animated film. Now the characters were weird and stuff like that, but I just admired the animation a lot. And it's been a really long time since I've seen that movie. But that was a pretty uniquely animated one. There were some pretty cool animation elements in that movie. And just I've heard just Miyazaki's work, as far as I know, as far as I've seen, it's just some really great time and effort and designs and ideas that get put into his films. And they're basically like a lot of people just say he's just like almost everything he's worked on is like a masterpiece. And actually, my Cinemark also has a Studio Ghibli not a festival, but I remember a month or two ago, I was at the theater and they were showcasing it in the lobby, that they're showing like a marathon of Studio Ghibli films. And they actually also advertised it in the previews before the movies too. And I remember that. And Spirited Away, I haven't seen that one, but I know that's the one about the horse. About that beige colored horse. Oh, wait, no. I'm thinking of a different movie. I'm sorry. Spirited Away. I'm sorry, man. I confused it with a completely different movie. I think I was thinking of a horse called Spirit in a different movie. What's it called? Spirit. You know what I'm talking about? This is this movie called Spirit. It was a movie made back in like 2002. I confused Spirited Away with that movie, but I haven't even seen that movie either. The movie, which animated film do you think had the best CGI? Probably. Let's see. Probably Coco. Probably the latest Disney films all have really amazing CGI. Zootopia had amazing CGI. Moana had amazing CGI. Coco had amazing CGI. Especially Coco. I mean, it's the latest film, and there's so much detail put into the backgrounds and the characters. Like, you could see, like, the fabrics. You could see, like, the skin, like the marks on the skin. You could... It's just crazy how much computer generated imagery has advanced in animated films. Like going from Toy Story to Coco. Like, man, that's insanity how much detail they're able to put into the animation and the backgrounds, and just it's amazing what animators can do with the software and the hardware they can do now. Just how much detail they can put into it. But Coco had some pretty amazing animation. Also Moana had an amazing animation. And Zootopia had amazing animation. But I think I'd give the edge to Coco. And they were all very good films. Legend of the Guardians. I have never heard of that before. Is that like a... Hold on, let me look it up. I'm looking it up right now. Legend of the Guardians. The Owls... Oh my gosh, 2010? I forgot about this movie. I totally forgot about this movie. Because I remember a long time, like a very faint memory of seeing like a preview of this movie. Yeah, I can see that. Like, it has 7 out of 10, 4 out of 5. Like, it's people are rating it as an okay movie. But I can see what you mean. It was made 8 years ago now, and it looks like the effects actually hold up not too bad, actually. They should release Legend of the Guardians on 4K. Now that would be a sight to behold. Or just any really well animated CGI movie on 4K, man. You'd be able to see every little thing, man. It'd be like watching it on the theaters. And speaking of the movie theaters, there's just nothing like the experience of watching a movie at the movie theaters. The surround sound, the huge screen, the comfy seats, the popcorn, the soda, man. Just the atmosphere and just how well movies were made to be on the... I mean, of course, since the beginning of movies, they were shown on the big screen in theaters, but there's just nothing matches the movie theater experience when watching a film. But my only complaint about movie theaters sometimes is that sometimes they have the volume a little too high. I do like chicken. I actually really liked fried chicken. Now, my favorite kind of fried chicken are chicken tenders. I really love my chicken tenders, man. And in fact, speaking of chicken, there's this really good place that just opened up in my hometown, well, here in town. And they're locally based, and they're like a micro chain. They're called Lucy's, and they have the best damn fried chicken I've ever had in my life. It is just so crispy, so well breaded, and it came with you could order it with the side of ranch, or you could order it with the side of ranch or a honey mustard. And I tried the honey mustard, and I didn't like it at first, but the more I ate it, the better the taste blended. And then I just ended up really digging the honey mustard, and the fried chicken was already super good as it was already. The crust is so crispy, so fresh. Everything just tastes so good. It was so unique compared to all the other fried chicken places around that I've been to. And they also had killer onion rings, man. I love onion rings, and those are easily one of my favorites. Awesome onion rings, awesome fried chicken at Lucy's, man. It's great. I love it. And I only went there for the first time not even 2 weeks ago. But yeah, man, I do like my chicken, though. My favorite meat is beef. I love beef. I love steaks. I love ribs. I love burgers. Steaks, ribs, and burgers, man. That's my beef is my favorite kind of meat, man. Chicken second, and then pork is third. Well, besides bacon, if bacon would be up there with beef. But in terms of like pork ribs and like stuff like that, beef steaks and beef ribs, in my opinion, overtake pork ribs. But if you're talking about bacon, now bacon is up there with beef for me. I love bacon, but I do realize that, I mean, having too much bacon, man, it'll screw your body up, man, because of all that fat and all that grease in the bacon, man. It's just a shame, man, that how, in general, things that taste so good oftentimes are, like, really bad for you. Like chocolate, bacon, candy, overall soda. It's such a tragedy how some of the most delicious things in the world can be so bad for you at the same time. It's a darn shame. It's too bad fruits and vegetables can't taste like chocolate. I wish chocolate was healthy for you. I mean, it can, but I wish just like eating chocolate was like the equivalent of eating celery sticks, man. That would be the dream. That would be close to heaven-like, man. If eating stuff like chocolate and beef and bacon was like the equivalent of eating vegetables, man. If it was as healthy as vegetables. that would be a pretty freaking good world living in, man. Don't have to worry about diabetes from eating all of that. Don't worry about blood pressure levels going up or anything like that. It would be a pretty amazing world. Not gonna lie. Excuse me. I'm getting tired. Are you guys still there? I think the comment section is faster than the stream, so I apologize if there's long periods of silence, or if not silence, then the sound of my dog snoring on my bed behind me. But so, well, sweet. Glad you're still here, man. If you got more questions, I'd be willing to answer, but I'm starting to get kind of tired, y'all. Oh, man. May, you just missed my whole spiel on how I wished chocolate, like, I wish unhealthy things like chocolate and bacon were, like, as healthy or more healthier than vegetables, man. Because if that was the case, man, the world would be such a better place. At least in the world of food. I wish junk food wasn't junk food and it was healthy for you, man. And I love fried chicken tenders, man. Oh, so good. What you talking about, man? Oh, okay. But unfortunately, that's not how the world works. If you want to have a longer lifespan, you got to eat them fruits and vegetables and grains, and got to have that calcium and all that stuff in order to keep your body well regulated. And of course, to exercise, though. I could use more exercise in my life, truth be told. I got to use more to get that blood pumping more and not have stuff building up in my bloodstream and stuff. Hopefully down the line, hopefully sometime soon, maybe once I go back to college, because my college actually has a pretty good workout area next to the gym with all the bikes and the weights and the treadmills and stuff. They got a really good workout station there, and I might get into working out more than I do, because I'm still young. I'm 19. I'm overweight, but I'm not like so overweight to the point where it's like, whoa, man, like you're fat. Like I don't have a double chin. Like I have to scrunch my head in order for me to have a double chin. But if I'm not careful, man, it's gonna catch up to me. So need to work out more. Anyways. Martial arts are cool. I've never really been into martial arts like as a kid, and I wasn't really interested in taking karate classes or taekwondo or anything like that. Though I do heavily respect people that are into martial arts, because, man, I realize for other people it can be such a great asset in defending themselves from people. Like if you're being picked on at school, man. Like I know some people were picked on in school and they figured martial arts would be a good way to, increase morale and give them defensive skills that could help them out in life. And like if they get in a really sticky situation, like if somebody has them at gunpoint, then like disarm a gun or just do a nice kick in their face, or just, things like that. 20 and super skinny. Not unhealthily skinny, right, man? Sports, I'm definitely not a big sports person. Though if I had to pick a favorite sport, a favorite pro sport, I'd have to choose basketball. Just because I recognize that out of all of the mainstream sports out there, American football, baseball, tennis, I think basketball, it takes a lot of, I just really respect players in the sense that there's just so much athleticism that goes into, making dunks, shooting threes, making sure you're passing the ball and you're dribbling all the time and you're not getting called on. And just, I have a really big respect for basketball. And in fact, my favorite team is actually the San Antonio Spurs, because I think they're just a really fundamental team in terms of basketball, because like so many people out there like want to be like the next Steph Curry or the next LeBron James and make those threes from like all the way across the court. And it's like, that's not what basketball is about. Like I'm for fundamental sports playing, man. I'm not for all that glory stuff, like all that lone wolf crap that so many teams are pulling off. It's like a one man band. Like LeBron carried his whole team, like Steph Curry, and like maybe like two other players, like in his whoever I don't know. They basically carried the whole team. And I'm all about that fundamental teamwork kind of sportsmanship. Yeah, I got bullied too, May. Trust me, I was an awkward kid in middle and high school. In fact, I was kind of a chubby, awkward kid. That was way out of the loop, and people picked on me for a good while. And then high school things settled down a little bit, but I still felt uncomfortable with stuff. What's up, man? It's a warrior god. Well, there's an interesting thing where white people like to try really extreme things. No, I mean, that's not everything, but like when it comes to extreme things like skydiving or, going next to volcanoes, like getting into like tornadoes and stuff, or getting into fights, doing like crazy stunts, like a lot of the times you find it to be people of a pale complexion. Now, they need to do a scientific study on why so many white people do dumb things. And I'm saying that as a half white person. Like I'm pretty pasty, but I'm Hispanic and white, but as half a white person, as half white, there needs to be a study on why white people do such stupid things. Yeah, there's a little bit of Texas accent in my voice. I was born and raised right here in Texas, so I kind of figure if I went anywhere else, they'd hear kind of a twang to my voice. It's pretty much bound to happen no matter where you're from. If you go to a considerably far point away from your point of origin where you're raised, you're pretty much guaranteed to have somebody come to you and say, "Hey, you got a little bit of an accent to you." No, I exaggerated it there, but you know what I mean. Like, there's different dialects of all different types of languages, and it's just interesting how dialects and accents vary from region to region, even in here in America. Like in New York, you got the New York accent. Like, I know that's a bad accent, but in the West, you got different accent. In the South, you got the Southern twang, and up North, it's more of like a more formal sounding thing. Stuff like that. King of the Hill. No, that was actually a pretty decent show. Right? A very, very, very good source for YouTube poops, because I really liked Durham Rocker's King of the Hill YouTube poops. But and those were pretty good, and as simple as they were, it was such a good source, and he used them so well. But anyways, on the subject of him, King of the Hill is a somewhat accurate portrayal of Texas. Now, it's an accurate portrayal of people that still have a lot of that Southern mentality. I'm actually still a virgin, yes. I have not made whoopee. I have not entered my spaceship into a spaceport. I have not done the do with the do. I have not put the pecker in the wood. I've not put the wood in the pecker, or however you say, all the weird ways to say it. I've done that. Oh yeah, May, on the point of view, May. Wasilla store. Shish. Na. Come down from the mattress. Rare. Now that was kind of a butchered, imitation of the beginning of one of Durham Rocker's YouTube poops, but the beginning of that video is just so iconic. I actually kind of forgot about it, but once May brought it up, I was like, oh, that's like iconic. But yeah, all the weird ways you can say you haven't had sex. I haven't put the wood in the cutter yet. I haven't inserted the mail through the chute yet. I have not watched Legend of Korra, but let me tell you, I loved The Last Airbender, man. It was such a great series. And my dad and I and my sister, we loved that show. And I remember they were still airing new episodes, and it was getting to the season finale, man. Things were spicing up so good. The characters were so good, so memorable. The plot and of each episode was pretty fantastic and solid all the way through. So many funny moments, so many interesting elements, and different things to put in that show. All the animation, and so much love went into that show, and as a result, so much love came from fans. And I can say I was one of those fans. Well, I still am a fan of Avatar. But it's just that I haven't seen the series in so long. But I've seen pretty much the entire Avatar series. But it's just been so long since I've seen it. But I remember it being such a good show. Such a good show. Certainly one of Nickelodeon's best of all time. Easily top 10. And the interesting thing is, like, I've never seen Korra, but so many people have said that Korra doesn't live up to The Last Airbender. Like, people say it's okay. And it's kind of turned me off from seeing it. Good on you, May. I'd like to see that, man. That source should be used more. The Mattress Ranch. Oh man. So yeah, it seems like Korra in my eyes has gotten kind of a bad rep. It's kind of turned me away from seeing it. But the animation looks as good as the original, that's for darn sure. But I got to do some catching up in terms of animated series and movies, man. Because, like I said, I'm kind of out of the loop with a pretty pretty good number of shows and films out there. It's kind of unfortunate, but it's just because I've just been kind of conservative in the way I watch content. Like, I kind of stick to what I've just kind of am familiar with, I suppose. I don't know, it's weird. I do like video games, though. I used to like video games a lot more when I was younger, when I had more free time. Or, actually, no, I had decent amount of free time then, and I still do now. But I really liked video games a lot more when I was younger. But now that I've grown up, it was kind of like a phase. I was really into playing games on the Xbox and playing PC games and stuff like especially Star Wars games. I loved Star Wars games like Battlefront, Empire at War, man, Galactic Battleground, all that good. I loved Star Wars games. I still do like Star Wars games, but as growing up, I loved Star Wars games. I also liked Call of Duty up until Black Ops 2, and that's the last that's the last Call of Duty I ever got. And after that, I gave up on the franchise because it just went downhill so bad after Black Ops 2, in my opinion. And I don't think it'll ever be the same. And but anyways, I don't game nearly as much as I used to. The only game I really play kinda often is VR chat and a little bit of a childhood game of mine called Toontown. It's called Toontown Rewritten. It's basically a remake of Disney's Toontown Online that they released way back in 2003. And that game was also a big part of my childhood as well. And I play that every now and then. But usually, the game I play the most, even more than that, I guess kind of, is VR chat. But other than that, I'm not really that big of a gamer, unfortunately. So when it comes to big stuff from Nintendo, yeah, they're pretty much the same game every single time, man. And I came to realize that as I got old. I kind of knew that back when I was younger, but I didn't care because I was enjoying myself too much in the multiplayer and zombies and stuff. But now that I think about it, it's just the same tired formula over and over again. And that, but so criticisms for you, May. I gotta say, man, your YouTube poops, man, May, they're pretty underrated, man. You have such a unique style that you I actually find inspiration from your works, man, because sometimes you're good amount of time when I watch your work, it makes me think outside of the box, and you showcase a style that I had never seen before. You done it before, and lots of sources that you put into your videos I'd never seen before that I find myself really interested in, all the different vintage things and all the caretaker music and all the abstract things, and you're strengthening your craft, I gotta say. I guess if I had any complaints at all about your work, man, I guess it's that maybe it could have a little more story to it, I guess. A little more of a plot somewhat to it, maybe, but not all poops need to have a plot in order to be good. And that's the thing, YouTube poops can be subjective in how good or not good they are. But the stuff you've been making so far, man, it's been pretty on point. That's really my only real complaint. If not even really a complaint, just maybe a suggestion that to you may or may not be it may not be, I say it could be an optional thing. Maybe sometimes add a storyline to it, I guess, every now and then. But to me, they're pretty good. They're pretty darn good just the way they are at the moment. But I think a lot of people in the YouTube poop community would say to introduce more of a storyline, so to speak, more of a plot to your YTPs. Now, mine don't really have too much of plot to mine, and I guess that's the reason why my YouTube my YTP account isn't as popular as it is because I focus more on that older style, like 2008 to 2010 style, which is like random crap happening on the screen. And that's honestly my favorite kind of TPs, with like a little bit of plot, but then it just goes back into stutter loops and ear rape and flashing colors and lights and fast-paced stuff. That's honestly my favorite kind of like stuff like I'm a Person and like who else do I really like? I'm a Person, MTB 710, Uncle Sam Eagle, Valkyrie Force, Guy Safari. Who else? But I also do like some of the older, like more slower paced stuff, like Durham Rocker stuff is pretty good. Like he has a pretty simplistic style, but his stuff is still pretty darn funny. I really got to say, like a lot of his works are pretty classic, and like people like, and then there's the opposite end of the spectrum where people like the Rum Chum, where his videos are almost the opposite of that, where it's just a bunch of random mirroring effects and ear rape and stutter loops and buzz noise. And honestly, I'll really find myself really enjoying those. The ones with just like the random crap going on, just the random buzzes and mirroring and like the punching and spherizing of the eye, like enlarging the eyes and the mouths and just doing dumb effects. Like that's honestly the stuff I love the most. And if you guys haven't checked out already, there's this YouTube pooper called Do, who I'm also heavily inspired by. And she made some stellar stuff, man. They were simplistic, but they were funny as hell, man. And they are still funny as hell. Do. Like DEW, like Mountain Dew. She made some kick-ass YTPs, man. Well, I mean, I do admire Rum Chum's style, but I feel like if I were to like go for that direction, personally, for me, I'd feel like, oh, you're just a copy of Rum Chum. And I'd be like, yeah, I guess so. But like, I'm kind of more focused on just getting like a good blend of different people's styles, just to kind of morph it into my own. Know what I'm saying? Like elements of Rum Chum, elements of I'm a Person, elements of Do, elements of Valkyrie Force, elements of Uncle Sam Eagle, elements of Durham Rockers, and just kind of mashing the different kind of styles together. Like maybe you have some slower, more abstract parts, and then you have ear rape and funny stutter loops, and maybe an occasional sentence mixing, and then I'll go back a little bit more abstract and slower pace, and then it just speeds up, and then it goes back up again. Yeah, man, dude. The YouTube poop scene from the past was just so good. So many all-star video editors, so many all-star white YouTube poopers, man. So many great YouTube poopers of the past couple years, man. And I do admire like newer people like Biodegradable and Mappo and 60 Force and Master Sword, but I think I have such a sweet spot for that older, like the old style abstract kind of YouTube poops. Like I said, like the stuff like I'm a Person and all that older stuff, man. There's just something about it that's like so pure, so it's just the meaning, like the soul of you, like so much soul is put into those to me. There's just something about the older YouTube poopers, man, that it's just something different about them. They're not filled with like dumb memes that'll go stale in a month. Not full of like dumb like references or dumb sentence mixing. They actually had some time and effort put into them. A good amount of time back. But also, But let's not also kid ourselves. There were some bad YouTube poops back in 2008, 7, and 9, and 10 with, with like the Spadinner stuff. Like, but like I love, like, I really am into Spadinner, my boy, and spaghetti and stuff like that. But there does come a point where, like, back then, like, it did come to a point where, like, this is kind of shit, like, in an unfunny way. But most of the time, about 80% of the time, those bad YTPs are pretty funny to look on now, just because of their nostalgia factor and just because how poorly made they are, that they're funny. Only on rare occasions are YouTube poops so bad that they aren't funny. But that's also not to say there aren't good YouTube poopers now. Like, when it comes to modern YouTube poops, I'm actually pretty I'm pretty picky when it comes to YTPs, man. Like, I tell you, like, cause like so many people make YouTube poops claiming like they put YouTube poops in the title, but it's mostly just like MLG bullshit, or like just like it's just filled with dumb stupid memes that'll like become stale in like a month or less. It's just people just feeding off the YouTube algorithm and just trying to gain popularity and subs. And for what? Just for recycling fads every month? Like, I don't... Like, no, man. Like, give me those I'm bored videos. Give me those YouTube poops that were made because somebody was bored and wanted to make something funny. And do not give me YouTube poops that were made just to profit off of, just to get clicks and views off of dumb memes and stuff and stale crap, man. Like, I know, like, I kind of sound like oh, I'm so superior, but that's just my taste, man. That is honestly how I feel, and I don't think really anything is going to change that, unfortunately. Or fortunately, however you look at it. But when it comes to newer YouTube poops, man, I'm pretty picky when it comes to that sort of thing. Like, I don't like anything that's, too popular, man. Like, I know I sound like such a hipster, like a Seattle living, coffee, Starbucks drinking, fedora wearing son of a gun, but that's honestly my taste, man. Like, I'm picky when it comes to YTP, man. Like, I really am. Like, people's like, well, you shouldn't be picky because of YTPs because it's just videos. But like, I just can't help but be picky. Like, I just can't. If you tell me not to be picky, I can't stop it, man. It's just how I am. If you tell me to stop being picky about it, like, it's not possible, man. Like, I'll forever be picky about my YTPs, man. Same here, May. Like, I know that's kind of hypocritical because I put a bunch of Spadinner, well, a considerable amount of Spadinner memes in my videos because there's just, I don't know, man. There's just so much heart and soul, strangely, in those old sources such as CDI and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog with Robotnik and all that, and like, Dr. Rabbit and George the Volcano and all those classic sources, man. There's just something about those sources that there's something about them, man, that just, I never get tired of it. They just seem so timeless to me. They're just so timeless, those sources, man. Those classic YouTube poop sources with, like I said, with CDI and Robotnik and Sonic and George the Volcano, like those Volvet commercials and Dr. Rabbit, like I said. There's just something about those sources, man. It's so classic. It's just so timeless to me. And they just embody the soul of YouTube poop to me. I do have a Discord. Yes, I do. Do you guys have Discord? Do you, Cuddy and May, do you guys have Discord? Have Discord accounts? Man, May. I think getting a Discord account would be it would be a great asset. Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, just your own account. You all don't need your own room as long as you got your own account. But May, I think investing in a Discord account would be quite an asset to you, my man. That means we can instant chat, do voice chats and all that sort of thing, man. Well, here, Cuddy, I'm going to give you a Discord invite. I'm going to try to give you an invite here. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and send my my Discord name out there. Let's see. I'm glad you think so, man. I really tried to be just an approachable person, man. And I mean, being nice to people is literally just, it makes you feel so good deep down to the soul, man. I mean, what's the point of living on this earth if you're just going to be an asshole to everybody? Oh, I got you, May. I got you now. Like, I got kind of confused with that. Like, sorry, I got a little bit judgmental, to be honest. At least I've kind of felt that way in hindsight. But, like, I get what you mean, man. Like, yeah, man. Being unique, man. That's something I'm after. Uniqueness is a great trait to have. That is for absolute certain. Being unique, being creative, being just having fun and just doing what you love and putting all that love out into a video editing program, man, and just mixing all your favorite sources and music and just doing all these it's kind of a beautiful thing, really, in some aspects. Just letting your creative juices flow and just letting it all come to fruition and putting it in paper, putting it in a document, putting it in a video editor, and rendering it out and uploading to YouTube for audiences around the world to see. And who knows, you might get some really great fans out of it, and make some friends out of it, and connect and build friendships and acquaintances, and it's great. That is true. Everybody has their own style most of the time. I'd say about like 80 to 90% of YouTube poopers have their own unique style. Now, there are a few copycats out there where they deliberately try to be like somebody else, like for the entire video, and they're obviously trying to, like grab off the success of like popular channels. Let's see. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and create an invite link to my server. Go ahead and do that. If I remember how to do it. Let's see. Oh, sweet. Coolio, man. Tits, as they like to say in those old SpongeBob dubs. Let's see. So, what's up, May? That is very true, May. Very true indeed. Let's see. I have a Xbox 360, but I don't think my Xbox Live account is working though, because I remember I tried to log on to the multiplayer on one of my games, and it wouldn't work. But it's weird because like I was able to access YouTube and some other apps, but when I try to go on the multiplayer, it doesn't work. But maybe I'd be able to get in a Xbox Live session, because I'm pretty sure you can still connect to you can still have a conversation between somebody on the 360 and also the One. Why does this look like Hot Diggity Demon? Do you guys think it's about time I start wrapping things up? Because it's past 2 o'clock in the morning here in Tejas, and y'all think I should close shop? Man. Well, let me tell you what. I've been having a great time Even though it's just the two of you guys, it's still so worth it just to have some two awesome people. Even just two people is just great. Indeed, we should, May. So what do y'all think? What do you guys think? Should I close shop for tonight or for this morning, y'all? Or should I continue on just a little bit more? Excuse me, I'm getting a little tired. So I just want to make sure, because like maybe you guys would like to exchange more contact information or something. I don't know, but I've had a great time with you guys. But May, Cuddy, it's been a great honor talking to you guys tonight, man. I mean, to you too. I mean, it's been a great. I meant to address both of you too, but I had a great time talking to you guys. It's been a pleasure. I don't care if it was only two people. It was still a great stream. Had a great time talking to you guys, answering you guys' questions, and just getting to know each other better. And like I said, always a pleasure to talk to people who admire my work and getting to know them better and actually forming friendships and acquaintances, like I said earlier in the stream, I believe. So, all right, y'all. I think I'm officially closing shop. So this has been the first ever live stream on the Really Awesome Guy 117 channel. And this is your host, Awesome Guy 117. And perhaps I will catch you guys on the flip side. And that is all she wrote. So have a good morning, noon, afternoon, night, evening, whichever. If you made it